Wow. Nice shoes, Richard. You put on new shoes for your first demo. Who's doing the demo? Well, Tom, is Tom doing the demo or are you doing the demo? All right. I've got hand. Are you jumping on stage? All right. You can do all the work.
Not yet, Christian. No,
Okay.
not yet.
You sure? At least you turned up. He didn't turn up for his first demo. I had to substitute the guy from Green Egg in there, remember? And Peter Hannon, and then he lit his hair on fire. He didn't burp the Green Egg.
I can give it to you.
That sucked. Richard, did Richard do that?
We'll pass you the big one, Richard. Don't worry.
Sorry about that.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Just waiting for Christian. Hi. I suppose we should introduce ourselves, really. My name's Danny. I work for Turner & George. Who follows Turner & George on social media? I'm responsible for that. How great is it? Can I get a raise? Yes. Okay, and we've also got Tom Hill in the house, and we've got Mr. Richard Turner. Can we have a hello from Richard Turner?
Hi guys, welcome to Meatopia.
And we're going to be extolling the virtues in a minute about UK ex-dairy beef. Now, is anyone familiar with the story with Galician and Basque beef that we sell? You've all tried it. You're all big fans. Old Spanish cow comes from Spain. Now, how could we improve upon that? How could we improve upon that? Exactly. So, over the last couple of months, well, few months really, at the start of the year, we were kind of researching and looking at different farms that could accommodate. And we started selling UK ex-dairy beef online, which has gone off fantastically well. Now, obviously, with the benefits of this, it's practically the same as Galician and Basque beef, but of course, it comes from our isles. Now, one of the big things about this is big message this festival has been about sustainability. So with this beef, you're fundamentally getting, well, you're getting two good goes out of it, okay? You're getting luscious milk throughout its life. And I would interject now because some people are a little bit cynical about where we're getting our dairy cows from. We still get our dairy cows from small farms, okay? They're not intensively milked or anything like that. But what we'll then do is then, once they've come to their retirement age, we'll put them out to pasture. We've got a great farm up in Yorkshire. And they just have another reseller life, basically. They're out there for 3 to 4 years, and of course then we bring them in and then we get to eat them, which is always a wonderful thing. I'm sure you wouldn't be here otherwise, would you? What we've got, the game plan today is to simply run through a butchery demonstration. What have we got going on here, Tom?
There's a 13-year-old Dexter.
13 now, Dexter. We wasn't sure, Dexter, this confused us at first, but you can get Dexter with dairy, yeah?
Yeah, they're dual purpose.
Dual purpose cows, yeah?
Yeah, so is that about 10 years milking, 10, 11 years milking. And
okay, can we hear him? Because I'm doing this bit.
Hello?
Excellent,
Hello.
excellent. So go ahead, Tom, yeah?
Yeah, so is that about 10, 11 years milking, and then 2 years on pasture.
Excellent. And so, and what have we got in front of us here?
So we've got a roasting.
Okay.
So basically,
pretty big roasting.
It's not huge, but yeah, all your steak cuts, so fillet, rump, sirloin, and ribeye.
Yeah. Okay. And what are you going to do for us today?
I think we're going to cook as much of it as we can.
And are we going? Yes. And are we going to distribute as much as we can?
That's the idea. Yeah.
Can we just keep a gap, though, please, folks? All right. We don't want any fighting at the front. Just a gap. Okay. So you're going to kick off.
Yeah. So I'll take the fillet off first. I think we're going to cook it whole. I spoke to Richard a minute ago.
Okay. And of course, this is going to be paid attention by the expert and delicate hand of Mr. Richard H. Turner. Very delicate hands he's got there. Yeah. So we're playing through there. Richard, what attracts you to this sort of beef?
I think Hello. I think the idea of an animal living its life, like 7 years, I think is a normal dairy life, producing milk, and then going to slaughter to make dog food is pretty sad. When we can. Hello. And then slaughtering it for dog food is pretty sad after 7 years. So if we can, give it a retirement, 2 years, 3 years, out on beautiful hills, eating grass, living, rolling around, having a good life, and then it becomes, fit for the table. I think that's a really good way of using the animal. It sounds ethical to me, I think. As ethical as it can be, eating meat anyway. And better than just rearing an animal just for beef. I mean, and this stuff is very tasty, as you're about to find out, hopefully.
It's definitely a retirement scheme I'd like to be involved with. Pardon? No, I'm just holding it really close to my mouth at the moment, so yeah. So we're kind of stripping this back at the moment, yeah, Tom?
Yeah, fillet. Trim up the fillet. I think we're going to cook it whole.
Okay.
Yes, not because it's Dexter, it's not huge.
Yeah, I did say this is a huge piece, but you've obviously seen bigger.
Yeah.
Whee! There's always room for a sordid meat joke.
There we
Sorry.
are.
And how quickly would you go to cook this on the grill for, Richard? How quick?
I'm expecting to cook this in about sort of 8 to 10 minutes, but we'll see. It depends on how it feels after 8 minutes.
Right, what are we going on to next? Oh, here's Christian in the house.
Well, I thought I'd help out. There's a lot of meat.
There is a lot going on.
There's a lot of meat going on. So you have Danny, you have Tom, you have Richard Turner. Richard Turner, head executive chef of Hawksmoor. Tom Hill, Turner and George. And Danny, you're the food urchin.
I am
and
the
we
food
work at
urchin also, yep.
At the Essex Food Festival together.
Yep.
Other festivals are available, like Meatopia. So you need to start butchering so we can start cooking, because that's a lot of meat. And we need to get, how long has this been out of the fridge? Because that's really important. People always think, I want to do a really good steak. What's the most important thing to do? I'm like, get it out of the fridge minimal an hour before you start cooking. Minimal.
It's been out for a few hours. So
a few hours. We're good. Okay. So we've got all the best cuts right here in this one.
It.
Is this grass-fed?
It is, yeah.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
So you've got the lovely bit right now. Ooh. Okay. Now, Richard, question. So I know we got some ribeyes here. At Hawksmoor, where do you recommend cooking a ribeye to? Like, rare, medium. What's your favorite temperature for cooking a ribeye? Because that's my favorite cut of meat.
So, I mean, for me, anything with fat in it, like a ribeye. Hello? Anything with fat in it, like a ribeye, I'd cook to medium, if I'm honest.
He said medium.
Medium, personally. Sirloin, fillet, I'd cook to medium rare. I'm not a fan of rare. I don't think it shows meat very well. I'm not a fan of well done. So the 3 cuisance I'd use are cooking temperatures: medium rare, medium well. If it's got fat, medium. If it hasn't got fat, medium rare.
A lot of people think if you go anywhere with a prime cut to medium, you've gone too far. But ribeye, you're talking dairy cow. You've got this gorgeous yellow fat, and that fat is just full of flavor. I could marry this fat. But I've already married the lamb fat on Neil Campbell's thing. He's doing hogget ribs. Go eat his hogget ribs. That, to me, hogget's the best. That's the best a lamb will be. Spring lamb doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. Hogget's got the right amount of flavor. Mutton, it gets very lamby, which is good. I do like mutton chops. But the fat on those hogget ribs, I've already proposed marriage to. So I know it's a bit weird. But I do love that. Okay, sorry,
Christian,
Tom.
I think that fat is fighting back.
Fat is
fighting
fighting back.
I think we could have that as a slogan on a T-shirt.
Well, fat is flavor.
Yep.
But that's also not true, because there's certain fats that aren't flavor that just taste of water. And
Exactly.
But This, dairy cow, it's lived a life. Now we're gonna butcher it. We're gonna slaughter it. We're gonna butcher it, and Rich is gonna cook them to medium rare and medium.
rare, yeah.
And that's really the only steak I would take to medium is a ribeye.
A ribeye, yeah.
Yeah, because of that, you want that fat to render.
Exactly.
And it is my favorite steak of all the steaks.
Yeah, it's become a lot more popular recently. It's now, I think, probably the most popular cut.
Yeah,
Steak-wise, yeah.
And you're also seeing a lot more like hanger, bavette, onglet. A lot of those cuts
Yeah,
are starting
yeah.
to become into favor. So look at this look at these babies.
That's quite thick, that one.
Yeah, we need to get these things cooking, Richard. Yeah, there we go.
It's even thinner than that.
Well,
They're right like that, yeah.
how much time we got?
We're okay.
We can do it. We got 45 minutes. We can get those done. The key with cooking a nice thick steak, I'd rather have them thicker than thinner. I mean, look at the fat on that bad boy, And, a little technique you can do to get that fat to render is to score into that fat. Neil Rankin taught me that. When you get in there and you give it a score, you score the out there, you give it a bit of a head start. Richard might say, don't score it. I'm going to say score it. I love getting it because I do not want to bite into lukewarm fat. I want to bite into caramelized, glistening, hot, popping fat because I want that to create fjords of flavor and to flavor all that lovely meat. That is beautiful. There we go, brother man. Okay, so what's next in the steak category, Tom?
I think we're going to take the rump off. next.
Yes!
Everyone likes a rotor rump.
I love rump. There's also a secret muscle on the rump. We did it the second year here. There's a bullet-faced fillet muscle called the kogel. You guys call it the rump heart. Is that correct?
Rump heart, yeah.
Rump heart.
Yeah,
They call
yeah.
it the kogel in Holland, and it's the texture of fillet, but the price of rump.
Exactly.
And the flavor of rump, which
Yeah.
is better than fillet.
Yeah, everything's better than fillet.
Yeah, so it's almost like a secret cut. Now, as butchers, do you ever put rump heart on in the window?
Occasionally, yeah, but not that many people know about it.
Now you do.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So if they come into Turner and George and ask for rump heart, you guys
Yeah,
can do
we'll
it for
sort
them?
them out, yeah.
There we go. There we go. Little secret cut for you guys. So Richard's now going to get these bad boys up at temp.
5 second
It's
rule.
fine.
5
Don't
second
panic.
rule.
Nothing
5
happened.
minute rule.
Nothing happened. Luckily, we have fire. Now you can see the fat popping. By the way, we are broadcasting live right now on their Facebook page, Meatopia's Facebook page. So there are cameras over here, and I think there's a roving one. So yeah, don't curse. All right.
Oh, really?
Don't curse.
Okay.
Now
We
you
were
can if you
discussing
want.
this earlier on, wasn't we, Tom?
Yeah,
what
I'm a
can
bit
we get
worried.
away with?
I'm a bit worried.
Now, if you
Okay.
look at Richard right here, he's got different levels of heat. He's got more intense heat. He's got more kind of goof-proofing heat. And then he's got another area up here so he can just give a residual heat. And he can slowly raise that middle bit up to temp. That way it's not just like charred on the outside and pure raw in the middle. Richard says he wants to take these ribeyes to medium rare or as far as medium, which I know a lot of people will say that's sacrilege, but he wants those fats to render because this is probably the best tasting fat you'll ever have, apart from those Hoggett ribs over at Neil. And Neil Campbell comes from the School of Ottolenghi. He's over at Rovee, one of my favorite new restaurants in London, in the country. By the way, we had Yotam Ottolenghi up here. Was it 2 years ago when he did the slow cook Swede? Was it Ottolenghi? He was the only guest who's ever been booed on stage. You guys booed him.
Well, what did he do?
He held up a non-meat product.
Oh, Christ.
Today we are
Sacrilege.
cooking slow cooked Swede. And it was like watching a Christmas pantomime. Boo. I was looking like, you are the first person ever to be booed on this stage. And I could not believe it was Yotam Ottolenghi. Anyway, go see, if you want to try some Ottolenghi's food with Neil Campbell, it's over at Neil's place, just on the Keys side here, next to Nick Watkins, who's got the biggest queue of the year for his burgers. Has anybody had one of Nick's burgers yet? How were they? Well, he won Best Burger at the National Burger or Street Food Awards. I was hosting that. I just didn't think he'd have that big of a queue so quickly.
Yeah.
So well done for waiting.
We do the mince for them.
You
right?
doing the mince for him.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go. That's why he's got the
Exactly.
queue. You did the mince. Okay, so rump. What's your favorite steak?
My favourite steak, it varies quite a lot because I'm quite spoilt. with
Sure,
steak.
you're a butcher.
Yeah. So at the moment, I like a bone-in sirloin
Nice.
myself.
Sweetest meat's next to the bone.
Yeah.
There we go.
Always bone-in.
What's your favorite steak, Richard?
It depends on the animal, but rump.
Rump. So why rump? Why is that your favorite part of the cow?
So rump's got the most flavour. Rump's got the most flavour on the animal for me, despite it's not so much fat. And if it's hung properly and it's got a nice bit of funk on it, it's my favourite flavourful steak. But it's also the price. It's one of the cheapest steaks there is on there.
Rump gives you the right price. If I go to the butcher's window, I look at the rump first because it's usually the one I can afford. And I have 3 sons, and my 18-year-old just plows through meat, and it's always rump steaks I cook at home. So one thing, you can see this layer of fat Tom's putting on there. Richard, you did those pork tomahawk things a while ago, and you cut beautifully into that fat. And again, we were talking about scoring the fat. A really good technique. Can you do it for me? Can you just put little slices across all that so we can, yeah, there we go. This will give the fat a bit of a head start, so you're not just have this big ribbon of fat.
Renders out a bit.
Yeah, you help that render, so there you go. Kind of like you do on a pork chop, you can do it on your steaks as well. So keep that ribbon of fat, and so now he's got it close to the meat, so we're gonna get that fat to render with a bit of salt. There you go, my friend. Give you a little bit of a head start. So, and Danny, what's your favorite steak?
You know what? I'm really get stuck into bavette these days, or onglet. I don't know why.
Onglet.
Yeah, just
But onglet I'll do rare. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'll cook it to about 39, 40 degrees, and then let it rest to rare. With ribeyes, I usually pull them off about 47. Always have a probe on. You can always touch your meat, but if you really want to know what's in there, because an older cow will have a different muscle structure than a younger cow.
Yeah.
So I know you can touch your beef, but it's always better to probe it.
Yeah, definitely.
That sounded kind of wrong, but anyway. These are beautiful. It's the sound of jealousy right now. Look at these gorgeous bad boys.
May I ask Richard a question on the subject of seasoning?
Do it.
Okay, Richard. I cooked with you recently at an event, and I was quite astounded by the amount of salt that went on there. So, what's your feelings on that?
I've got very high blood pressure. So most of that salt will fall off. It looks like a lot of salt, and it is, but it should fall off. It should fall off on the grill. So I'm not killing anyone.
You'll be fine. And, you know, we had the Basque Country guys, the Galician guys, a couple times cooking on the fire pit, and they'll have these buckets of salt, and they'll throw the salt on the coals. That helps kind of mellow out the flames. So they use salt not just for flavoring, but actually for heat control. All right, so where are we going now?
Sirloin.
Sirloin.
Yeah.
So yeah, sirloin's another one. It's either just past rare towards medium rare is where I do my sirloin.
Yeah.
Because the
medium
fat's
rare
more
for
on
me.
the end instead of in the middle.
Yeah.
And so I like we showed that technique. You can get that fat to render on that
Yeah.
ribbon.
You want to render some of the fat out of it, basically.
Yeah, you want that fat to render.
Otherwise, it's not pleasant to eat.
No.
A big lump of.
This is
uncooked
why
fat.
there's no point in doing a ribeye rare. Next time
Yeah.
you see someone trying to order a ribeye rare, you punch him in the nuts. Don't tell him DJ Barbecue told you to do that. But just personally, verbally, you punch him in the nuts. Yeah, I think onglet and fillet are like one of the maybe bavette.
Yeah.
The few cuts I would even do rare.
Yeah.
You know, everything
Yeah.
else I want medium rare. Even with burgers, I'm done with that super, pink, rare middle
Yeah.
bit, that cut and shave.
The
I want-
uncooked mince thing isn't
No,
very nice.
screw that, man.
Yeah.
The more I get older, the more I want to go towards the McDonald's burgers in my childhood.
Yeah.
I want a thinner burger, because my kids want to go there. And I don't want a fat raw burger.
No,
I
it's just
want
not
it
pleasant.
blushing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like lamb.
Just pink.
Yeah. Oh, these are gorgeous. Look at these bad boys. Look at that, huh? Beautiful.
See, I think with the sirloin that we're getting through these days, we're starting to get a lot more fat come through on the sirloin as well. Do you think?
Well, more fat on the sirloin.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, people are just more. They're interested in just fattier beef in general,
yeah,
which is good.
yeah.
Whereas,
Because
Even-
I would say it was, along with fillet, more of a leaner cut, really.
yeah, yeah. I'm not a big fan of fillet, to be honest.
No.
It's not. Of this animal, it should be really nice because it's much older.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's not something. Apart from a beef Wellington, I don't see the point in it.
Well said. Now, I actually made a mistake last year dissing fillet.
Yeah.
And it was a female butcher was here, and she said, "Don't you ever diss the fillet." And I'm like, "But that's that. You know, there's not a whole lot of flavor there. It's just a lovely, tender, steak." She's like, "Yeah, but if it wasn't for the fillet, us butchers wouldn't really be making a living because we make our money selling fillet. Because people want, people that got the coin,
Yeah.
they want to
They
buy
do
it.
like a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some people do. Yeah.
And as a kid, I would go fillet if I could even convince my father to buy me one.
Yeah.
But as you get older and more discerning, you realize there's better flavor in the onglet, the bavette, flank. I mean, I grew up on flank steak.
Yeah.
It wasn't even dry aged, but that's where the real flavor is. All right, I'm gonna score these bad boys and give them to Richard.
Okay, so I think in a little while we'll be able to get some of these sliced up for you. Who's looking forward to trying some of this Dexter? Hey!
Right answer. Right answer. Okay.
How are we doing, chef?
How far away
Looking
we
good.
are, chef? How far away?
The fillet's off, resting. Is anyone here, I mean, obviously we're in London, who lives or works in central London? Okay, I just do need to put in a very brief plug and take this opportunity. We will be offering same-day steak delivered to your desk in the office soon. So keep an eye out for that. We are in the beta testing stage, I would like to add, but it's working out and I think we're nearly there. Okay, so just imagine you'll be able to sit on your desk on a Friday morning and think, oh, I really fancy a steak tonight, but I can't get to the shop. I don't want to go to Sainsbury's or Tesco's. Not that I'm dissing Sainsbury's or Tesco's. They're shit. But, you can come to Turner and George and we will get something delivered to you same day.
We will.
Okay? It's a revolution going on. That's a good plug, isn't it? Okay.
I said no cursing, man.
Sorry. We're live. I forgot.
Okay. Okay, so now where are we going, my friend?
More sirloin.
More sirloin.
that's
Those
it.
lovely
Yeah.
little. And what type of breed cow do we have?
A Dexter.
Dexter.
So dual purpose.
Yeah.
So they can be used for milking and for meat.
I love Dexter. I
Yeah.
think Dexter ribeye is in my top 5 favorite steaks I've ever had.
Yeah.
From another butcher. There are others available. Nathan Mills.
Yeah. Yeah. very good.
Another.
Someone
We're very
chef.
blessed to have such fine butcheries who do champion dairy cow or older cows.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do because I'd rather eat an animal near the end of its life.
Yeah.
It's an efficient protein. I have arguments and talks with vegans all the time. I said, why wouldn't I eat that cow at the end of its life? Because that'd be a waste of protein.
Yeah.
I want to eat. It's not an efficient protein. Efficient proteins are venison and carp, but an older animal. That's where I want to eat it. So, what's the age on this Dexter cow?
13 years old.
13 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
It tastes like it should. Hence that yellow fat.
That is a satisfying sound.
It sounded good.
It did, yeah.
Almost as good as this sound.
That's a better sound. Yep.
There goes my arm hair. Oh, that hurt.
Okay, so some of the fillets coming out now. What do we think?
I should get my probe out. You know where you're at, right? Look, you're guesstimating. You do cook a lot of steak. You do cook steak for a living, Richard. You do. You run the Hawksmoor kitchen. Oh my gosh! Look at this. That's a fire. Oh, look at those bad boys.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Let me cut into that fat. Oh. guys going. So Tom, let's talk about fillet. Price per kilo for fillet compared to price per kilo for rump or sirloin.
So fillet's about 50% more expensive, I'd say.
50.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, people still do like, it's really tender, but I think, yeah, for a beef Wellington, it's very good. But other than that, it's not really my kind of thing. It doesn't have enough flavour.
There's a great beef Wellington recipe on the website by Mr. Richard Turner, by the way. If I'm going to squeeze that in.
Plug your book. He's plugging your book, Richard.
Plugging your book, Prime. Has anyone got their hands on a copy of Prime yet? 2 copies, sir. Or you just give me the peace sign. Okay, so we just how did the we got any more steaks come out yet?
Yeah, it's getting kind of hot.
It's getting hot out there. Can I have a cup of water, please?
Yeah, it's getting a bit hot, so we're gonna calm it down. Luckily, he's got this area. Whenever you set up your grill at home, if you don't have a shelf unit like Richard's got to work with here, just set up your grill for half and half technique. If you got a Weber, just put charcoal on one side, no charcoal on the other. That way, when you're doing these big ass steaks like Tom's butchering, you know, you can work it. You cook, you rest. You cook, you rest. You bring that middle bit up to temp. But if you've covered the whole bottom part of your grill with charcoal, you've got nowhere to go. When that fat renders and you get the flare-ups, little flare-ups are good, but when you get the crazy flare-ups, you're just kind of burning the outside and the middle bit's not being touched. So give yourself a goof-proof zone. Give yourselves an indirect zone to take that steak and move it between both the zones. And it's the best way to cook a steak. Or just buy Prime, and then Rich will tell you how to cook a steak. How are those things looking, man? They're good. Remember, with steak, I always say rest the steak for about half the amount of time you've cooked it for, unless it's like a really, really big steak and you really want to jump in there. But, you know, it's a muscle. It needs to be rested. Richard's only putting salt in these bad boys. I never put salt on, and most chefs will not put salt on their steak before they cook. The reason is it can go acrid, you know. They can burn. Cracked pepper, my bad. Cracked pepper can burn. Just salt.
Yeah.
And if you do want to add that pepper, add it at the very end because it is still cooking in when it's resting. Like right before I take the steak off, that's when I hit it with cracked pepper and I give it one turn and then I take it off and let it rest for half the amount of time I've cooked it for. Thanks for sorting me out, sir. It's just verbal diarrhea sometimes and I don't know where it's coming from. Okay. These guys are looking beautiful. Look at the fat dancing on those guys. Beautiful crust. Richard's building up a gorgeous, gorgeous crust on these steaks. He's got that fat dancing, and there he goes. You can see the fat dancing and getting that middle bit, that ribbon of fat to properly start to render. But we got a really intense hot heat. So we're going to finish off these steaks, and then we're going to serve you guys, and then the next demo, we've got Tom Brown, Great British Menu winner. He's won awards for his new restaurant, Cornerstone in Hackney Wick. He'll be on at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. We're going to get all the steak going for you guys.
It's all coming out now.
Rare bits, medium bits, medium rare bits. We're going to do a bit of everything for you guys. So just hold tight. And, yeah, can I get a big round of applause for Danny, for Tom, for Richard Turner. And we're just going to send out some lovely Dexter Dairy Cow.
Here we go.
Do
You want me to put those on now?
you want me to start slicing these up? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be videoing some of this stuff, guys. Here we go. What do you think? What do you think? Is it good? Burny fingers. What do you think, chaps? Enjoying that? You do realize you're going on social media after this. I'll get the disclaimer form out to you later. Good. Everyone's lunging for it now. I love your shirt, sir. It's gone. We need to get some more steak out. Okay, looks like we've got some more coming out soon. Now, I think we should. What about you at the back? You look a bit lonesome. Yeah, I think. Yeah, come on. I think maybe you should come forward a little bit more. Let's not cause a rush, though. Water? Have we got any water, please?
This is the first time we just got told off for cooking too much meat, which is probably a bad word for you guys, but that's probably the most meat we've cooked for anybody, for any crowd. Usually it's about 8 or 10 steaks. We just did the whole thing, which is good for you guys. Okay, so folks, we're going to send all the meat out. We're going to start turning over the stage for the next demo. Tom Brown will be up here. Illegally handsome. Do not look in his eyes. You'll get lost. And then that'll start at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. And in the meantime, enjoy your 13-year-old retired dairy cow, Dexter. There he is. There he is. Everything's covered in animal fat, Tom.
Is that all right?